Linda Means, here to tell you today about the upcoming production of The Pirates of Penzance, brought to you by the Dover Foundation. The Dover Foundation has been an institution in Dover for nearly 70 years, and it's just one of those things that everybody in Dover looks forward to every spring. So I will speak no more because I think I don't need to tell you much about the Dover Foundation. These people will know better than I do, and I will introduce you to Kathy Weld. Everybody has heard her play the piano because she's Dover's town piano player, I think. Jeff Herman, who is director of chorus at the middle school or high school, which is it?
At both, actually.
At both, of course. And Jen Paxton, who's playing Mabel in Pirates of Penzance. So, Kathy, I'll start with you because you've been here the longest, right? I wasn't here for your first performance, but I've been here for a lot of them since. You want to tell us a little bit about your history with the foundation?
Sure. So I made my Dover Foundation debut in 1972. The musical was Carousel, and that was my first time in a Broadway orchestra pit, a Broadway show orchestra pit. And it was very fun, and I've been basically doing it ever since then. And in those days, we did a musical every other year, so it was a straight play and then a musical. But in recent years, it's been musical every year. So, and I've loved working with a whole lot of wonderfully talented actors and actresses, and some who didn't read music at all, but had fabulous voices. And,
Isn't that
and others,
unbelievable?
It
That
is.
you can produce gorgeous music
Yeah.
even if you don't read music.
Yes,
I find that
it's just
very interesting.
amazing.
Is anybody else still there who was there when you started way back in 1972?
Nobody in this cast, but it is as recently as 2 or 3 years ago. Yes, John McDonnell, and actually Al Colello.
Another town
Definitely,
institution
another town
that everybody loves.
Yes, yes. So
Do you have a favorite in all these years?
I have lots of favorites, but Guys and Dolls, Anything Goes. I love doing Oliver. My Fair Lady. Oh my goodness,
They're all your favorites.
they are all favorites. But those are the big ones.
A favorite composer or like people who create
Not-
these wonderful things?
Not so much in Rodgers and Hammerstein. I do love, but I don't think so. And as a classical pianist, I mean, I could tell you everything that the composers that I love and love to play, but I haven't really picked a favorite in the Broadway.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will once again all look forward to hearing you play. Jeff, tell us about yourself. You have an interesting background, I know. I missed seeing Les Miserables this year, but everybody says it was incredible, and you were the director, is that correct?
I was not the director, I was the musical director.
Musical director.
So I worked with Scott Walker, who's been doing the shows here for many years. And though he's now teaching in Foxborough, he still did the senior musical this year, which was very cool. And that was very special for him because he had a very special tie to this class that was graduating because they were the ones that showed up in 6th grade when he was teaching in the middle school, because he also did the middle school shows right after he had taken a break and had come back. So it was cool for him to be able to come back and see them off.
Right.
Plus to do Les Mis was really cool. And it was very cool for me because I'm kind of brand new to Dover. This is my 2nd year teaching. And so to get to work with Scott was really, really fun on Les Mis of all things. So this is only the 2nd high school show I had done. So I definitely was learning a lot and following a lot in Scott's footsteps. But musically, it was just so much fun to do. It's actually... I will pick a favorite. My favorite is Les Mis, just because of the story it tells of the people who need help, but also just the story of grace that is embodied in Valjean,
Right.
and the opposite of that in Javert is just so cool to see. So that was really fun to be a part of that, and get to do that with such a talented community as Dover, because there's a lot of talent in this town.
There is a lot of talent in this town to this day that never ceases to amaze me. I never run out of people to interview or events to talk about because all these creative people keep doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about your background. How did you come to this kind of career?
Well, I actually went to school to be an engineer. That's
Oh,
how it
sure. So
started.
you wound up being a music teacher.
So,
That makes sense.
but I had always loved music. My family was very musical. I was in all the shows growing up. And so when I got to college, I really just wanted to learn more about it. And the only way to start taking classes was to add a music major.
Mm-hmm.
So I added a music major and was like, I'll double major and it'll be fine. And then I realized that I really loved music. And so I kind of upped that music major, and then it kind of became hard to be doing both. And then I realized that there were people who loved engineering as much as I loved music. They were doing it 24/7. And I was like, you just do it in class and you go, right? And they were like, no, this is amazing. And I was like, well, what do I think is amazing? Let's see, all the a cappella groups I'm in, the choir I'm in, everything I do in every other waking hour.
The handwriting was on the wall.
Yeah.
Right? You were
So it
meant
was
to
like,
be a musician.
so I had to go be a musician, but I didn't want to just be a solo musician or someone who went off and do performance. Those people, it's excellent what they do. There's a real dedication that comes with that. But it's a very solo career. You do a lot of traveling, and yes, you get to meet people, but most of your time is spent just practicing on your own. And I really wanted to make music with people and to share kind of musical experiences with people that when they discover things, because I had so many times where I discovered music growing up and I kind of wanted to give that back.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, I'll go get a graduate degree in conducting, which is kind of like teaching, and then I'll get my teaching licensure and hope that somebody hires me. And Dover Sherborne was nice enough to hire me.
I think
And
that was
here
a
I am.
smart thing for them to do.
And I have loved it, even in just the year and a half I've been here.
And I can hear that you have the same passion for what you're doing that those engineering majors had for what they
Yes.
were doing way back when.
And that's why I let them do that part.
Right. Well, tell us a little bit about Pirates of Penzance. That's right. Well, go ahead and tell us about your work with
Okay.
Pirates of Penzance.
Well,
That's a play I'm not that familiar with, but it sounds really fun. So.
It is really fun. It is an operetta, which means it's kind of in between being an opera and a musical, where it was originally written in the 19th century when it's based, so it was a contemporary play at the time, but it's just supposed to be hysterically funny. And my first encounter with it was with the video where it had Kevin Kline and Linda Ronstadt that came out in the 80s out of a production that I think Joseph Papp had done. I think that's the name everybody's been throwing around. Don't quote me on that. And it was just so goofy, and I was a little kid at the time when I first found it because my parents loved it. And it's just hysterical, and it's slapstick, and I've always loved it because of that. And now we get to do it, which is really cool. I'm really excited for that.
That's fantastic.
And we're doing it kind of like that 80s production, which is also really fun. And I play the role of Frederick, who is kind of the person that everything that's really funny revolves around. I am the lead character, but there's really only in the sense that I'm on stage most of the time. Most of the stuff that's really awesome, really cool about the show is what happens around me. Like when Mabel comes in and sings her gorgeously high song, which is also quite funny, as you'll see if you come to see the show. And then there's the Pirate King and the policeman and all of these really crazy characters that all happen around this one character, Frederick, and his little story about being a pirate and not wanting to be a pirate.
I cannot wait to see this. It sounds truly fabulous. Mabel, Jen, otherwise known as Mabel, tell us about the Mabel character and also about your background as a singer and as a performer.
Yeah, well, so Mabel is, I believe, one of the older of the sisters of General Stanley, and it's an interesting way to put it, but she's kind of a floozy.
Okay.
So she, all of her other sisters, Frederick actually, without giving all the storyline away, all of her other sisters get introduced to Frederick first, and they basically kind of turn him down, and she sees him and is like, okay. Yeah, I kind of like him. Let's go flirt with him, and that's where the slapstick actually starts going. And I think can be played as a pretty complex character as well. So there's definitely layers to her besides just her like flirtation. She can be very assertive. So there's a part later in the show that she kind of defends Frederick as well. So, after, he has to go, he has to do more pirating. And she's like, no, he's okay. He's doing it out of, no, he's doing it nobly. So
Didn't know pirate was a verb. You can go pirating.
it is a verb. I'm using it as a verb at least. So she definitely can be a fun character to play, I would say. And I guess the high notes are my favorite, which is kind of where I like to shine.
So I take it you're a soprano.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. The high floaty one. Yes.
And that's the real opera part of it. It really gets fun and advanced in that high opera soprano way that you don't usually find in musical theater.
Yeah,
so
I get to do a lot of cool trills. Oh, thanks.
Because it is an operetta, too.
Yes.
So, well, it sounds really fantastic. Can you remind everybody when and where and how to get tickets and all that kind of necessary information that people need?
Okay, so the show is Thursday, May 5th, Friday, May 6th, and Saturday 2 shows, a matinee and evening, May 7th. And you can get tickets online, www.thedoverfoundation.org.
Good. That sounds great.
Oh,
.com.
.com, excuse me,
Okay,
.com,
.com.
.org, my prompters.
Um,
And yes,
okay, great.
so
Thank you. Well, you fill the house every year, so I'm sure you will again. Let's talk a little bit more about the foundation itself and its history and the scholarships you give. I know it was founded to sort of bring disparate groups of people in Dover together and give everyone something to work on together and make the town a more unified place, which has certainly worked out well. Anything else you'd like to talk about? Well, the scholarships. How much money has been raised in scholarships, or do any of you have those
I know
figures?
a
lot
it's
of
been
money,
a
I
lot of money. I mean, it's almost close to $500,000
Is
that's
that
been
right?
Wow.
given away.
And they all go
those
to Dover Sherburne students who are going on in
Dover students who are
Dover students. Sorry.
right, going on to college. And yeah.
Great.
And it does definitely fulfill its purpose, a community project raising money for the scholarships, but bringing all these different groups together. And many wonderful friendships have been
I'm sure.
made and nurtured. And just you watch it in the cast, each new cast that comes together. And
for how many years have I heard cast members say on a Wednesday or Thursday before the big weekend, it's terrible, it's not together, it's not ready. And then Thursday night comes and somehow it's fabulous every year. There's always this feeling like, oh, we're not ready. And then you always are. I don't know how you do that.
so
you always are.
I don't think we're...
It's practicing every night have something to do with it,
Yeah,
maybe?
and we're getting better at not screeching in at the last minute quite like that. It's coming together a little sooner than that. But
Well,
you're
no,
right
I
that
always
there
thought
is a
that-
point at which people do suddenly really start putting in the effort, and that the forward progress is just exponential. And
But I always
yes.
get the feeling it probably was ready. They were just nervous and wanted
Yeah,
to be perfect
yeah,
and were.
yeah, no,
But it always comes together somehow. Always
it
great.
does.
And I would like to emphasize that I hear so many people say, well, I can't sing, I can't dance, so I don't try out for anything. But there's so much for anyone to do, a carpenter, a set designer, a costume maker, a publicity person, whatever. There's kind of a role for
Absolutely.
anybody who wants to be involved, wouldn't you say?
Right.
Yes, there's so much more to the stage than just the people on
Right.
the stage.
Right.
And we definitely can't forget about those people because they make it so much more possible.
Mhm.
When you really say, wow, that's a good show, that's almost sometimes has more to do with the people that aren't on the stage than the people that
Right.
are
You're
on.
seeing the tip of the iceberg when
Yeah.
you watch
Yeah.
the production.
That's the magic of it.
And it's great to also sing in such a beautiful set and stage as well. So we have a phenomenal artist that's going to be designing the entire set, and then our costumes are gorgeous as well. I mean,
So you get
Sheridan
to
has
play
done an
dress
amazing
up for
job.
3 whole nights.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and a matinee.
And
So,
that's fun. Four performances.
yeah.
No, I
Wish
just
there
think
were
of
more.
over the years that I've been working on these shows. I mean, they've all been wonderful, but I feel as if the excellence is just they keep getting better and better in every department, not only the singing and the acting, but the costuming and the staging and the orchestra. And it's really a community orchestra. It's not just all pros. We've gotten some wonderful students
We
from
have the talent. Right?
Yeah,
the high
actually-
school and other high schools coming in, and you also did for your show as well.
For my show, we used several students, and actually, our pit director, Mike Jones, is actually he grabbed a bunch of the students from Les Mis to also
good.
be in it. So, like, one of my 8th graders is going to be playing percussion, like, while I'm singing on stage. So it's really neat in that kind of
That
way.
is very cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exciting. Well, I can't wait to see this production. I think it's going to be really wonderful. I thank all of you for being here. And I think everybody heard it's May 5th, 6th, and 7th. And tell us again where you get the tickets.
At www.thedoverfoundation.com.
Okay, I'll see you all there. Thank you for tuning in.